Wealth is not a participation trophy for suffering. It is a mathematical result of leverage. Look around. The construction worker sweats more than the billionaire. The nurse runs more miles than the CEO. If hard work were the key, the exhausted would be the wealthy. They aren't. You have been sold a lie that keeps you tired, broke, and replaceable. Stop grinding. Start thinking. You have been sold a convenient fiction, a narrative crafted during the smoke-choked dawn of the Industrial Revolution, expressly designed to keep the gears of production turning. The system never needed creators. It needed reliable, replaceable parts. So our education systems were modeled after factories, bells ringing to signal shifts, rows of uniform desks, an emphasis on silence, obedience, and repetition. The hidden curriculum was simple: learn to trade your limited hours for a fixed number of dollars. But let us pause and examine the mathematics, for math is cold and unforgiving. You possess exactly 24 hours in a single day. No amount of hustle can stretch that boundary. Even if you work 20 of those hours, pushing your body to the brink of collapse, your output remains strictly capped. This is the prison of linear growth. Input equals output. To double your income, you must theoretically double your time, but you cannot double your time. You simply run out of life. This is the inescapable trap of linear labor. True wealth, the kind that fundamentally alters family trees, ignores the clock completely. It relies on nonlinear equations, where one single unit of strategic effort produces 1,000, or perhaps 1,000,000 units of result. This is the concept of leverage. While the laborer sells his dwindling inventory of hours, the strategist builds assets and systems that function tirelessly while he sleeps. We must brutally unlearn the sanctity of the hourly wage before we can truly grasp the mechanics of infinite abundance. So, our education systems were modeled after factories, built to churn out compliance, not leverage. But here lies the Archimedes pivot. Effort is linear, but leverage is exponential. You cannot outwork a rigged game. Archimedes didn't ask for more muscle, he asked for a lever. Stop trying to push the boulder uphill with bare hands. That is a battle you are destined to lose. Instead, change the physics of your success. Shift the fulcrum. It's not about how hard you push, it's about where you apply the force. Stop trying to push the world with bare hands. Start looking for the handle. In the modern economy, that handle manifests in 4 distinct forms, which we call the 4 pillars of leverage. Historically, wealth was built on the first 2, labor and capital. Labor is simply people working for you. It is the oldest form of leverage, impressive to look at, yet incredibly messy to manage. Capital is money working for you, investments, factories, and machinery. These are powerful forces, but they share a fatal flaw. They are permissioned leverage. You need someone else's consent. You need a boss to promote you, or an investor to write a check. They are gatekept behind heavy boardroom doors. But the digital age has gifted us 2 new superior pillars: code and media. These represent permissionless leverage. Code is the army of robots that executes your logic 24/7, never sleeping, never complaining. Media is your voice duplicated 1,000,000 times. Blogs, videos, and podcasts reaching audiences while you rest. These levers require no one's approval. No gatekeeper can stop you from writing a script or recording a lesson. While the old world fights for permission to use labor and capital, the new rich are quietly building empires with code and media. This is the fundamental shift, moving from begging for a seat at the table to building your own table entirely. It is the oldest form of leverage, yet the most difficult to scale. Managing people requires infinite patience. Then comes capital, money working while you sleep. Powerful, but historically gatekept by the rich. But the game has shifted.
We are crossing the bridge from doing to deciding. Today, you aren't paid for burning the midnight oil. You are paid for judgment. One correct decision outweighs a decade of mindless toil. Stop counting hours. Start making the calls that matter. Today, you hold the keys to the modern kingdom, code and media. These are the permissionless pillars of leverage. Unlike labor, code never needs a break, never asks for a raise, and never burns out. Unlike capital, media requires no permission from a gatekeeper or a bank. You build it once, record a video, write a script, code an app, and it works for you relentlessly, infinitely, and independently. Imagine the sheer electricity of waking up, not to the shrill panic of an alarm clock, but to the silent realization that your assets served 10,000 people while you slept. This is the narrative climax of wealth creation, the absolute divorce of time from money. You are no longer compensated for the drops of sweat on your brow, but for the clarity of your judgment and the strength of the systems you design. The old world lied to you. It demanded you grind until you shattered. But true leverage whispers a different truth. Build until you are obsolete to the process. This isn't just about stacking cash. It is about reclaiming your sovereignty. It is about staring at a calendar that looks like a blank canvas rather than a prison cell. When your livelihood is no longer tethered to the ticking clock, you don't just purchase luxury, you buy back your existence. The machine now carries the load. You are finally free to be the architect of your own legacy.
Video or write a thread, and it serves millions indefinitely without costing you a cent. This is the final shift. You are no longer the laborer carrying stones up the hill. You are the architect designing the lift. The hard work lie told you that suffering guarantees success. It doesn't. Judgment guarantees success. Your specific knowledge, multiplied by permissionless leverage, is unstoppable. So, here is your final instruction. Stop digging the hole with your bare hands. Build the machine. Whether it is a line of code or a piece of evergreen content, apply your first lever today. Don't just work hard, build systems that work for you. The era of the operator has begun.